So welcome everyone, I'm Ivy Rivera, I'm a psychic medium, a Taino airwalk. This is the Unbound stage where you drop a $10 donation and I deliver out to you whatever is the most important message for you to hear right now. This could be coming from my psychic ability, empathic ability, mediumship. Perhaps a spirit is coming through to talk to you. It could be coming from the universe. I don't know where the message is going to come from, and I don't know what it's going to be about. So you need to be open to receive whatever this message is. And if you had something very specific you wanted to be hearing about, or you wanted to hear from someone in spirit very specifically, that is not this show. That's called Ask Ivy, and that's every other Wednesday. So you can either wait for next Wednesday to drop your very specific question for that show, or you could book a reading with me at Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium.com to get something more personal. So I ask you guys to open up at this time to receive whatever is the most important thing for you to hear. And we are going to go ahead and get started. I just need my notepad, like piles of lesson plans and messes. And, you know, if I clean up my mess, my whole world falls apart and I can't find anything. If I leave it, I know where everything is. So it is what it is. Okay. Let's go ahead and start getting to your messages. All right, first one up is Jill Marie. Jill Marie, what do I have for you? You know, I see you on a treadmill, and you could be on a treadmill. That's fine. But this tends to be a metaphor for feeling like you're running in place in life. And so there's also talk of the last 3. Could it be 3 weeks? Yes, but I feel like 3 months total. So take it as a complete message. Take it how it resonates. Seems like the last 3 months you've been running in place. Seems like the last 3 weeks you've been trying to get off the treadmill and you feel like you can't. So the treadmill of life, what does this look like for you? Well, feeling a little bit unheard. I have you speaking. I have you doing your part in communication where you are using your free will to converse with people in positions of authority, or wherever there is shared income, or wherever there is shared space, and you feel as though there's a tug of war, or you're competing with these entities, these people, these situations. You're communicating, but you're doing it in such a way where instead of saying like point blank, this is what I want or I walk, or giving ultimatums, it's more like you're trying to negotiate and you're trying to talk nice and you're trying to, I'm hearing roundabout, you're trying to say things in a roundabout way. And I'm seeing these literal roundabouts. You know what I'm talking about? Where they've gotten rid of these like street corners where you've got like 4 different options. You instead just go around in a circle. It's almost like I see you going around in a circle, round in a circle, and missing your exit, thinking you're ready to take an exit and you're not ready to take an exit. So if there is anything in your life right now, and I can see what it is, we don't have time to get into all that today, but you know what it is. If you know that there are some things you need to exit in your life, that may be the solution to you getting off this treadmill. That may be the solution for you to finally be heard for the changes that you want to see. Even if they're not all directly, seemingly so related, they are. Okay, so time for some changes and time to get off the wheel, the mouse wheel. Thank you. Elvin Ramos is next. Elvin, what do I have for you? You seem to be a bit silenced. It feels like there's a situation going on and there's talk of 5. If this has been happening in the last 5 days, take it how it resonates, but it feels like a 5-month total process. And so this could be hitting you in the 5s, even 5 weeks ago, possibly, where you feel like your words were shoved back in your mouth. So if you said something in a situation where your words were twisted, or you said something and your words were just used against you, or you said something and later in hindsight, you were like, I kind of wish I hadn't said that at all, or I kind of wish I hadn't said that in that way, or that didn't help anything. you're being more mindful about your words and what you are willing to share, how you progress forward in your life, when you're going to keep your cards close to your vest. And you may be delegating a lot of this labor. What should I say? When should I say it? How should I say it? How do I do this? You may just be throwing some money at the problem and paying some people to say it for you. So whether this is a legal situation, advocacy, representation on your behalf, this is you allowing others to essentially speak for you. And quite frankly, it's more productive. Now this is coming up to the future. Okay, so some of this hasn't happened yet. The future, okay? Ballpark 2 to 3. Could it be 2 to 3 days? I mean, it could, where you're getting some of this worked out, but it's more like 2 to 3 weeks and over the upcoming few months. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure that, especially too, I just want to say it this way. If you're dealing with a situation where your words have already been twisted in the past or used against you, believe patterns, okay? Just believe it and be like, you know what? I'm done with this. I am going to do the smart thing and conserve my energy and go have a pina colada on the beach. Okay? Basically, pull out. All right, thank you. Charmaine Hall is next. Charmaine, what do I have for you? A lot of talking, a lot of voices in your head, a lot of negative speech from the past, programming. What are the rules? What have you been told to do? What are you not supposed to do? What's appropriate behavior for you? You're basically getting ready to light a match and burn that ish down. The whole thing, whether it's past life, generational curses, which I don't believe in, but I do believe in generational programming, psychological programming from society, structures that are limiting you. These voices originally came from other people, other places, but now it's all just different versions of you. It's just you. It's all the voices in your head are you. And at some point, I think you really need to own that. You need to own that every time you're ready to level up or you're really enjoying yourself or you're doing something new. I keep seeing the word change, change, change. Change and growth kind of go hand in hand. But change specifically can alter your life circumstances in a dynamic, noticeable, mundane, way. I think you may panic. I think you may get a double-mindedness that feeds those negative voices about where you belong and how maybe you shouldn't step out. So be mindful that they are there. Be mindful that they are all you, technically, doing this to yourself. And try to acknowledge more of the progress you are making in your life, because it seems like there's a lot of stuff you're excited about, and revel more in that energy. Stay in that energy, stay in that vibe, stay in those conversations, stay with those people, and celebrate the new that you're doing, because you're leaving the old world behind. Very exciting. All right, thank you. Anne-Marie DeLaura. Anne-Marie DeLaura, what do I have for you? I have a grandmother coming through, dad's side of the family, strong woman, strong frame. Is this pan face? Is that the way I want to say it? Or poker face? It's like, she does not smile, but she is like, her eyes are piercing. I feel like she's like looking in my soul and past it. Okay. It's like, she has this determined energy about her and a knowingness of how to get stuff done, and that whatever comes her way, she will maybe not win every single battle, but she will win the war. And she's giving this to you, but she's giving it to you like genetically through your DNA, spiritually, karmically, generationally. So this is the opposite of a generational curse. This is a blessing, right? To have her wisdom and power and expertise has been handed down to you, so that when you were born, it's just like part of your personality. Pretty amazing. I wonder if you forgot this. I wonder if she keeps pulling these little ribbons out of your hair. I wonder if you've forgotten your inner child. If you need to go back and get her, if you need to go back and retrieve her, if you need to do some inner healing in that area. She said, well, I'm not asking, I'm telling you. It's okay. So that's what needs to be done. And in being this power player for your inner child, for that little girl who didn't get what she needed or have anyone backing her or speaking on her behalf in the way that you needed at that time, you're doing it and you're leveling up because of it. I think the next 2 to 3 weeks really needs to be spent on this. She said 2 weeks in particular, you're not going to be able to stop it. Okay, so you're going to be having a lot of dreams. You're going to be doing some shadow work, no doubt. You're going to have some power points, some breakthrough karmic opportunities. Watch for numbers, watch for signs, watch for symbols. This is going to be a little nutty, but the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're rescuing that inner child, and she's got your back, and she's showing you how. A lot of love to you. Carrie, what do I have for Carrie? Your money, your money, your money. Where are you putting your money? Put your money where your mouth is. Okay, take it back out. Reinvest it over here. Move it around. Shake it up. See what we got. What's our turnout? Calculated risks. There's a lot going on here with your finances, with your resources. I think that where you are right now, you're coming out of a period of time of maybe stagnancy, or if you've been waiting for the right time to make some changes. What we have going on right now is an opportunity for you to officially, I'm hearing officially, take your resources and convert them so that there's less like baggage, there's less waste, there's less drain on your energy, on even your time, your schedule. Your money should be working more for you. So in this investment process, we should see almost like a passive income type of an idea, or a doubling, if you made a wise investment in a stock. This is leading you into a period of time here where you can have a lot more, quite frankly, for not doing anything. Okay, so I think that there's also some type of advisor coming in here. Now, this does not have to be a man. However, this would be someone with a lot of, I want to say well-balanced masculine and feminine energy. So maybe someone who's a little more soft-spoken, but a real power player in their field. And you may be seeking some counsel. Okay, so whether you sought this person out or they're just around you and are giving you this counsel, it's like you're getting financial advice on how to pull this off coming up in the next few months. And it feels like you totally do. Okay, so this is no time to hesitate. I do feel, again, like you've been collecting info, but now it's time to move. Thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. I want to ask everyone at this time to please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment of any kind, and I love hearing where you're tuning in from. If you prefer to do this privately, you want to book a private reading with me, you can go to Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium.com to do that. I do work internationally. And if you don't want a full reading, you just want to get a message, click on Direct Spirit Message. All right, please do subscribe and share this video now. Maraid is up next. Maraid, what am I getting for you? You seem to be done with something. You're pushing something away. And I see somebody in the mix of all of this. So you're done. I think it's really important when you realize you're done to accept that, to not like try to talk around it or think about it too much. Should I be done? Shouldn't I be done? I keep seeing Alice in Wonderland when she like approached the Cheshire Cat. She's like asking him a million questions and he's just smiling and he's giving some smart ass answers and he's kind of not really helping at all. He's kind of making everything a little bit worse. This is you and the other part of your brain. It's almost like the angel on your shoulder and the devil, right? Back and forth like a ping pong game. I think that you need to, what's the point of all of this? What's the lesson in all of this? What is the point, the bigger picture of this experience that you're having right now with being done? Accept it. When it happens, accept it. Stop judging it. Stop trying to turn it into a black and white thing, a right or wrong. It is a process. It is a point in time. It is not the whole story. there will be more after this, you know? So it's like not the end. It's just a point in time, and that's okay. But in denying when you're done with something, you can ruin things. You can burn them down. You can destroy a vibe permanently. You know, it's like understanding when to leave the party, understanding when to take personal space, and understanding when something needs an evaluation. You don't have to force yourself to be present. Okay, so make sure that you're acknowledging. For a while here, you look done. Okay, with a couple things, but especially this one person. So pull away and let stuff work out energetically from a distance. And then we'll see. We'll see what's next. It's not final. And Anna Pekka, what do I have for you? I don't know if you guys can hear my jaw cracking, but Anna, if you've been stressed and you're grinding your teeth, I can't prescribe or diagnose. You need to cool that. And if you're stressed, you're carrying it anywhere. Okay, the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, like just, you know, try to find some ways to decompress. I don't want to turn your reading into a class, okay? But, you know, let it out. And I think this is a period of time for you where you're getting more rooted and grounded. And as you're getting more rooted and grounded in your life in general, you're feeling more centered. You've got crap from the past trying to pull you back, pull you down, get you, you know, up and loopy in thought and, you know, discombobulated and decentered and, you know, pulling and tugging at your attention to make you unfocused on the things that had you going in the right direction and what's coming up next that you should be conserving all your energy for. And so it's like you have to know that every time, I like to say new level, new devil. Every time you're about to level up, you're going to have these 5 different ways of attack. Here on YouTube at Ask Ivy, click on Fighting the Dark. There's a part 1 and a part 2. Every level up comes with a new devil, 5 different attacks. It's what you're going through right now. And these pestering energies, these pestering people, circumstances, memories, flashbacks, thoughts, and some of it's you, that's fine, you know, but like that are invading, causing you to feel dysregulated, are really what needs to go at this time. It's sort of like the final, I'm hearing the final frontier. You've got a gentleman watching over you. I want to say paternal energy would have, I feel like I'm parting my hair right here. I'm combing it and I'm tucking in my shirt, and he's very, a little plain, you know, but very, very well kept. He's very patient. He's a very patient man. Okay, I don't know if there was a war situation he lived through, but it feels like, I don't know if he was captured or what, but he's got incredible patience. It's like you have to, in a period of time like this, stay in that energy. I am focused, I am patient, I am centered, I am still, I am moving forward. I'm not paying attention to this, I'm not paying attention to that, I'm not feeding this, I'm not getting distracted. You understand what I'm saying? Stay the path. Tammy Sarah, did I read that right? Tammy Sarah, what do I have for you? Chess into checkers, the last 2 months. You're no longer playing checkers. You could be feeling like you have entered into the game of chess in life. This just got real. This just got complicated. I have goosebumps all over my legs, which is a sign of truth. It can also mean for you in this particular situation, divinity, or the number 3, or the Trinity, coming into alignment with your life path, your life purpose. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, but you are definitely logically noticing that life used to be easier and making decisions and moves on the checkers board was a lot easier because you may have felt like you were more on the offense, and now you're playing chess and you're definitely feeling like you're on the defense. And it's hard to remember what your goals were when you're playing more defense. So you're trying to get in alignment with all of this right now. And this is all you need to do. This is all you're required to do right now, is to take some deep breaths and to understand that you can stay focused on what your ultimate goals are. And if you don't know what they are, get back in alignment with that. Ask yourself these questions, okay? And then trust that you're going to know which moves to make, and that whatever moves you make, the universe is going to do their part. It's 50% you, 50% the universe. It's not 100% you. It's not 80% you. It's not 95% you. It's 50% you, 50% the universe. So it almost starts to look like a bit of a teeter-totter for a while. And I would expect that for the next 3. Could we be talking 3 days? I think so, but I think 3 weeks in particular. Okay, so expect a little bit of this energy to kind of, you know, lift you up, and you think things are going to go one way, and then it's balancing back out, and then back and forth. Ultimately, it feels like you're on both sides of the teeter-totter. It feels like you're on both sides of this chessboard, and you were on both sides of the checkers board. It's up to you. It's a time for you to design what you want. Stay in alignment with your goals, your happiness, your peace, your joy. Okay? What's going to make you feel good? And then you're going to have what you want. Thank you, Tammy. Sarah, Lucy, moving on to Lucy. Lucy, what am I getting for you? This feels like relationship energy trying to come in here. And I want to say a sister, younger female coming through. Keeping an eye on you, just popping in to sort of like say hi and remind you to celebrate yourself, because it seems like when this relationship energy comes into your life in any way, shape, or form, somebody's pursuing you, you're just casually talking to someone, maybe you just went on a date. Like, it doesn't even have to be a big deal, okay? It seems like you lose sight of yourself, or your light goes out, or your self-esteem drops into the toilet somehow. It just seems like you went from being like, everything's good, life is a party, I got this, to like low vibe, okay, 100%. And not even noticing it entirely. And then it could be like a spiral effect, like downhill the rest of your life goes. Okay, by the time you recognize you're in low vibing energy, a million other things are starting to go wrong. And that could be mental and physical health. I can't prescribe or diagnose, but also circumstantial stuff. So I think what she's trying to say here with you is, don't forget that you need to maintain your sense of self-love, self-care, self-esteem, celebrating yourself. And she wants you to start doing it more every day. Because I think like you do all right, whether it be like food or juicing, or like, oh, I'm gonna do something good, you know, something healthy. That's not exactly the same as praising yourself. That's not the same as doing a daily, you know, evaluation on progress you've made, and looking at the little details in your life and celebrating, you know, the way you changed a thought, or you stopped a negative pattern, you know, or you chose something better than what you would have chosen even a month ago. You know, you really don't examine enough of this. So she's trying to help you to do that. But also, if you feel like every time someone comes near you that may end up being someone you engage with on a romantic level, and you start to feel your energy drop, you may want to catch that a little bit sooner. I would have to look at who this is and what's going on there. I'm not blaming this person. I'm just saying it may be something you're kind of rejecting, you know, like you're almost just like intuitively rejecting it. Like, I don't care even if it's good. I don't want it. I don't want it. You know, your higher mind may be saying, no. It's quite possible. All right. A lot of love for you. She loves you very much. Thank you. Bethany Renner. Bethany Renner, what do I have for you? I have you getting behind the wheel of a car and taking off. And then you stopped, and Sodom and Gomorrah, you're looking in your rearview mirror. You've got to stop stopping. You've got to stop pausing for people who need to be in your rearview mirror, who won't walk the walk, who won't get their own car, who are always looking for a free ride. You know what I mean? You've got to stop shrinking yourself for people who don't like growth, who don't want change. You have to stop shrinking your ideas and the powerful player you are supposed to be here on earth, because no one else in your circle is one. It's okay. We don't all have to be the same, but you can't shrink. You can't shrink yourself. You can't dim your light. You can't play small forever. And I'm hearing tick tock, tick tock. So you may be on a bit of a time crunch here, a bit of a deadline to decide whether or not you're going to level up. And the idea of you being behind the wheel of the car and being able to take off is massive. I mean, hugely prosperous. I want to see that for my clients. I want to see that in my own dreams. I want to see that symbology for my own self. I want to get behind the wheel of the car. That is a symbol of not just prosperity, but speed, fluidity, movement, and a breakthrough. And the fact that you just stopped to look in the rearview mirror and be like, but I'm a lover, but I love people. Well, it's just what I do. Well, I'm just a giver. Well, you're going to give up everything then if you keep doing it. Okay. Because anyone else that you're supposed to be dealing with is going to be up there. Keep going forward. Edgar Villardis. Edgar, what do I have for you? Seems like you are, I'm hearing dancing and skirting through the next 3 months. So it's almost like I see you having some pleasant interactions, some pleasant conversations with people, a lot of banter, a lot of sort of, I want to say, deepening of friendships and reaching higher levels of intimacy, or even people who feel a little bit more like maybe right now they're acquaintances and stuff like this. It's like it's deepening through the cha-cha, through the dance, through the playfulness, through the banter. And it looks like you're then stepping away a little bit. Okay, so we have this going on for about a week intensely. And then it seems like you're stepping away and you are kind of coasting for the next few months into a period of time where you may be maybe taking a little bit more personal space, going on a vacation. This could also just be like an energetic vacay. I'm not saying you have to go book a ticket anywhere, but where you're sort of pulling your energy back a bit and you're just coasting. And this feeling of coasting is based on what feels to me like finances, resources, knowing that you've put in a lot of labor, knowing that you've put in the hard work. You've been bringing your A game to everything across the board: relationships, self-care, work. It's time. Okay, it's time for you to enjoy some celebration here. So one way or another, you're supposed to coast here for a while. Okay, take a break from all that. Tanya Rivera. Tanya Rivera, what do I have for you? You seem to be coming out of a period of a little bit of disappointment. And this is happening like right about here. So I want to say maybe in the next 24 to 48 hours, you may be feeling like, you know what, I'm done feeling confused or bad about this, or like heavy. It almost reminds me of when there's something nagging at you, or there's a to-do list, or there's like a pile of laundry, still staring at you. It reminds me of this should have been done, or this needs to be taken care of, or I'm worried about this thing. This energy in general in your life is something I feel you're coming out of. And you're ultimately saying, I'm going to spend a little bit more time doing what I enjoy. If you have not been working in on a daily basis, something sweet for yourself, a quick break, whether it's a coffee down at the lake or it's, I see you eating a lollipop. Now, I'm not saying get hooked on these things, okay, per se, but it really does seem to uplift you. If there's something, that you need that's just a sweet little getaway, I think you're going to have to start adding more of those in, because your energy level seems to, it's required of you, okay, that you're bringing more as you go forward. This looks like a 4-month period of time. Could there be a breakthrough at about 4 weeks? Is possible. Take it how it resonates. But it feels ultimately like for a while, you're going to have to increase your stamina level, and you're going to have to be very focused on what exactly needs to be delivered to bring success. Okay, so I guess that speaks for itself. I'm not saying it's only one area. I'm just saying, you know, it is that in particular. Thank you, TikTok, so much for the hearts and the support. Okay, so focus where you need to. Everything else, tune out for a while. Yolanda Fisher. If you guys are tuning in late, this is the Unbound Sage. You are going to drop a $10 donation. The description on how to do that is above or below or in the comment section. And once you do that, I'm going to deliver out to you whatever is the most important message for you to hear right now. All right, Yolanda Fisher, what am I getting for you, Yolanda? Seem to be taking the bull by the horns. You seem to be talking more. So it's almost like you're saying something. I do wonder if there's a point of confrontation, and if this just happened, I do believe we're referring to that one, but it's literally right around this time. I'm in 24 to 48 hour zone here. Could be a confrontation. It doesn't seem like a massive deal, but it's almost like you're confronting this person and you're doing it with authority and you're taking your power back. And in doing it, this smaller thing ends up being so huge. Like you have from this an epiphany moment, if you let yourself, an epiphany moment where you're like, God, why wasn't I always doing this? Why didn't I always think that way? Why didn't I always sort of cut them off at the knees or handle things that way or deal with it immediately instead of leaving it on the back burner? Like, why did it take it till now? You know, and then it's like, forget it. I'm not going to get caught up in that loop. It's like, I'm going to take this lesson. I am a new me. I am new. I am new. It's very much like the lizard just shed its skin and you're ready to go into some new territory. I think that the idea too of you being like a lizard or a chameleon, this symbolically is used, the totem right now is about camouflage. Where you're headed, you're going to be able to kind of blend in. You can blend in and look like I'm a normal part of the scenery. You know, you could also blend in and it's like no one can even see me. You can be on land, you could be in water. You know, there's adaptability going on here, and there is, in essence, expansion. Okay. All right, we are going to move on to another one. This is Jojo. Jojo, what do I have for you? Talking, and not feeling like you're getting a whole lot back. You could be, as we go forward, because this is coming up in your free will zone and your future zone, you could be feeling, and even maybe you were feeling this today, but it's almost like when I talk, I'm not always heard. Or I don't want to talk just to hear myself. I want to make sure that when I say something, it's impactful, it's important, it's bringing about the results I was hoping for, or at least it's giving me more information. I put info out, I expect to get some type of info back, and then I can analyze it properly. But what you're not going to do is not be heard. What you're not going to do is feel like a clown. What you're not going to do is just talk to your own self, you know, or talk to someone or a situation that's like a rock and it's not going anywhere. I think you're done with that part of your life. I think you're done with that process. And I think you've really gotten ready to sort of move forward in your life because you've been cashing out in this area the last 2. Could it be 2 weeks? It could. I was really feeling more like 2 months total, but take it how it resonates, because sometimes it's showing up on my end, but you're not feeling it until about 2 weeks. You know, and maybe even 2 days ago, you were feeling it intensely again. But you've been getting paid out in this area, which means you've been doing some work here already, or at least identifying when you need to say less or keep your cards close to your vest or pull away from certain energies. And it's almost like the last part of that process, okay, is what you're heading into now. And then the payout can really start to come in. Shauna Dempsey. Shauna Dempsey, what do I have for you? I have it going in reverse a little bit. And so it's almost like you want to gain more power and control in your life, especially where resources are concerned, your schedule, your day-to-day lifestyle is concerned, the work that you do feeling as though it's fulfilling, as though it's in alignment with your life contract. You want more of that, and you want less feeding into relationships that you're not 100% sure they're going to make it. You know, you don't want that to be 80% of your energy. It's going to people you're like, I don't know, will they be here in 5 years? I don't know. I think that what's happening though is it's requiring of you to go backward before you can go forward. This can feel emotionally to a human being and energetically to you like you're confused or you're a little lost or you're stagnating. You would prefer the universe is just lighting up the path before you and saying step here, step here, step here, and then you can choose to do that or not. You would prefer that. But right now you're in a free will zone. You need to look backward at your past, at the path that you've been on, at the patterns in your life, at the decisions you have previously made, okay? And in regards especially to the areas I was talking about, and you need to do an evaluation. Sometimes we need to sit down and we just need to be like, wow, things move so fast and we're never taught to stop and think. We're not even allowed to stop and think about anything. And we may do evaluations on, you know, our money periodically or our job or other people in our life. But how often do we do that with ourselves? How often do we just sit down and say, how am I doing? What's my eval? What boxes can I check off? And where am I not doing what needs to be happening here? You know, and then you look at you get comfortable in the discomfort and you make the changes necessary. So you're going to be doing that for a minute, probably 3 weeks. Some of this information, 2 major pieces will be shown to you. One at 3 days out, the next one between 5 and 7 days. All right, we're going to move on to another one, Christina Hernandez. Christina Hernandez, you have a grandfather coming through, mom's side of the family, who's always kind of pulling up his pants. And I think he was trying to act like he didn't have a belly, but at some point he gave up. And it's almost like the belly went out and over the pants. And then he was happier. You know, I think what he's trying to say here is just sort of be mindful that there's a period of time in life and it comes up periodically where you just need to accept yourself. You just need to be like almost telling that voice in your head, shut up, you know, or like kick rocks. Like you know, mute it, just get rid of it. It can feel though like you're cutting off your right arm. It can feel like you're cutting off a piece of yourself. Maybe you are, you know, maybe that voice is, you know, a negative part of you that's been there for a long, long time. But it's like you're nitpicking yourself. And he wants you to spend more time analyzing what about you is beautiful, what about you lights up the room, what about you helps and heals other people, and what about you is smart. And it's like you have the engineer's mind, so you understand how systems operate and you can fix things. You do really well in group situations or situations that are broken, or building anything like business wise. You could do, like, why aren't we focusing more on these things instead of nitpicking? I should be further ahead. I should have done better. I had hoped that this, you know, work would turn out more than the way that it is. This relationship is not satisfying, so it must be me. You know, why do I have these patterns? It's like you nitpick at yourself, almost like he said, if you were a scarecrow, you know, you're also the crows. The crows are coming at you, you know, and he wants you to live more peacefully. It's like, just get a larger belt, okay? And at some point, just let the belly hang, and you don't have to even try to pull up the pants anymore. You know, it's just, it is what it is, and be like, I'm beautiful and I can just dance this way. You are approaching a period of time where you're going to have some levels up. You are going to have some breakthroughs, 2 in particular, if you've been waiting fairly patiently, okay? And that should help with that somewhat too. Oh, hi, Mama. All right, he loves you very much. Good morning. As he woke up from her 6-hour nap to say hello, she's now hanging off my chair here. Deb Basil, am I reading that right? Yes. You coming up? You want to come up, say hi? Okay, Deb Basil, what am I getting for you? Jewelry, grandmother coming through, giving you a set of pearls. This is about prosperity, but this is about long-term trajectory. This is about investment. This is about 401k. This is about knowing where you're going, knowing where it's going. you could be doing an evaluation on everything you have. And this would have started probably a couple months ago, but I'm feeling it more intensely, or at least she's talking about dealing with you in the last couple weeks. So if you've been going through a period of time where you're looking at like whether it's a spouse or, you know, shared income with family, or this can also be like a boss. This could be a bank, anywhere you have. Esmeralda Marie Rivera, everybody say hi, Ezzy. No, not today. This would be anywhere you have, you know, shared resources, but it's almost like you're trying to figure out how you could do this more on your own, how you could do this with a sense of independence, so that regardless of what happens with those situations or people ever, it's not really going to rattle you. You know, you're secure. And so I think this is a good place, you know, for you to be, is figuring this out. And I think, okay, get down, go play with your toys. Thank you. I think really what she's saying is that she may have handed down, like a string of pearls is typically, in my symbol base, it's about generational wealth. And if you have gotten a substantial amount of generational wealth, kudos, okay, good for you. But it could also be about things like, you know, DNA, and in your case, like the resources through education, or maybe there were business smarts in the family. You know, there are things within the bloodline, let's say, beyond outside resources and monetary, you know, tangible, like currency that you can use more of going forward. So do an assessment on what you have. What in you is untapped? What else do you want to create? It's a time of expansion. It's a time of reinvestment. And it's a time of almost like rolling things over, so that those pearls turn into like, that string of pearls turns into like a million oysters, you know, and you're going to be making your own pearls. I do feel like you're entering into a period of time where you may be creating some significant generational wealth to hand down. And she's proud of you. There really seems to be a lot of business smarts here too, though. Something is definitely going on with that. A lot of love to you. Also, Red Rose, birthday or anniversary right around this time. This can also be a passing anniversary. Take it how it resonates. Or deep love. Rebecca, what am I getting for you? One step forward, two steps back. One step forward, two steps back. And then I see a pig, and then I see a cow. So what is this going to mean? Symbology, obviously. But, you know, I think this idea of you taking one step forward and two steps back really has a lot to do with you. And I'm not calling you out, but sometimes we just need to push a little bit harder. You know, sometimes we just need to really force ourselves to, you know, set that alarm, set that deadline, set that goal, and plow on through it. And what you may be doing is feeling either whether it's like burnt out, or feeling like I'm not enjoying this, or I'm trying to have self-love. I think that self-love, of course, is amazing. The key and the solution to pretty much everything in life. Okay. But sometimes we can be a little too fragile. We could treat ourselves like we're a little too fragile. So when people talk a lot, I'm always watchful of this. When people say, have grace for yourself, have grace. I'm like, these people sometimes have too much grace, a little too much grace. Let's move, okay? Let's push, let's go, let's get up, let's brush ourselves off, move. You know, you've got to have a balance. There's a time for grace. There's a time to get up and get your ass moving, you know? And I'm under the impression, okay, you're entering into this, and you're just going to have to kind of plow on through it. You're just going to have to sort of push through. And your payment will certainly be on the other side. Try to think of it like boot camp for a while, energetically. Andrea M. What do I have for you? You're saying no to somebody. Yeah, you're saying no to somebody, and you're saying no to something as well. So I think that coming up, it's kind of funny because it's the symbol. I don't know. Maybe this is going to be literal for you. This wouldn't shock me, but, you know, it's a symbol of you driving in a car and then you're just putting on the brakes. You're telling someone, get out right here, get out right now. I don't care where we are. I don't care that there's like the woods and no stores. And I think those are the eyes of a raccoon over there staring. It's the middle of the night. I don't care. I don't get out of the car. And so it's like, you're done. You're done. And I think what we're talking about here, let's say this is symbolic and this isn't literally going on. I think what's happening is you're done taking people to their next destination on your coattails. I think you're done dealing in a situation where someone has not taken you into consideration in the same way you took them into consideration on a regular basis. I also feel you doing this possibly with a job or some other financial entanglement where you're realizing it's wicked imbalanced. It's not ever going to balance out. It's like you were told one thing, but it is another, or you're realizing it is another. And I think that being quick is going to be your PowerPoint for the next probably 3 weeks to ballpark 5 months, where you're just like, you spot something, you identify it, it's fine, I accept it, it is what it is, cutthroat, move forward. Even if it feels like you're having to cut your losses, so be it. That's not the biggest deal in the world. I think everybody wants to make changes, and this is just for everyone. I think everybody wants to make changes in their life without taking a loss. It's called a sacrifice for a reason. You know, when we are trying to manifest, we don't want to unblock. We don't want to make sacrifices. We don't want to trade things out. It's detoxing is required for everything. You know, that's why we say new level, new devil. It's okay to have to lose things every single time you level up. I'm telling you, it's going to be required. We may as well just all get used to that. It's societal programming that has trained us to believe there's something wrong with that when it's actually the universal law. Okay. So forget the church, forget your parents, forget psychology, forget everything that it said. You know, you should never leave the things you've been investing in. Yeah, you will periodically have to. Absolutely. Or you will not grow. Okay. You're not here just feed the machine. You're here to advance yourself, center yourself. Love it. Emily Davis. Okay. Thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. Emily Davis, what do I have for you? You seem to be shouting something out. So you're speaking your truth, coming up here more. I want to say even in the next 24 hours. This may have even started happening today, but it's like for a few days. I feel you speaking your mind. I feel you being quite, I'm hearing outright. Okay, outright. Now this is going to be with people, but this could also just be like on social media or, you know, out on the streets. I mean, it's you in general. So it's not one specific area. And as you're speaking your truth, let's say, you're looking back every single time. It's kind of hilarious. It reminds me of a toddler when you're out, okay? When you're out and about and you're like at the park or whatever, you know, and like your toddler periodically, like they want to act brave and they want to go do their thing. And then they periodically come back just to like touch your leg, just to come back and make sure you're still there, just to come back and make sure, you know, it's like you're doing and saying these things. And then you're looking back at the old you and you're like, was that good? Like, was that it? Was that, did I do it? Did I do it right? And also you're analyzing what happened. So it's kind of like a science project, which I think is brilliant. I love that you're doing this because you're saying something, then you're watching to see the reaction. You're watching to see, it's almost like the pebble, you know, the pebble and the waves in the water. What came of this? What came of this? And ultimately, I don't really feel like you care a ton. I mean, it's just more motivation for you to keep going. Your thoughts seem to be a little, you may have some Gemini or something, Sag or something in your chart. I mean, you seem to be a little da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You get a lot of thoughts. It's a little ADD, and I can't prescribe a diagnosis, but it's kind of like, I'm going to pay attention to this, and it's like, I'm on to the next, right? It reminds me of Gemini energy. I'm on to the next, I'm on to the next, I'm on to the next. So whether something works exactly the way you would hope, you had no idea how you wanted it to work, or works exactly the way you would hope, that doesn't really matter. It's sort of like on to the next, on to the next. And it's in the experience that you're really feeling this sort of rich, vibrant, come on up, you know, energy, and it's propelling you forward. This could also be leading you into some levels up within a relationship and what feels like a work opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's offering you a work opportunity and you decide to take it, but it feels like you have the master keys, or you have the skeleton key, or you're the one in charge. Be mindful. Okay, so do we not have any more coming in, or is this the last call? I don't know if this is the official last call or if I'm just giving the last call. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, perfect. All right, so we are at time. I want to say, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I am able to do these now weekly because of your continued support. And please do share this, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment of any kind. It helps me out in the algorithm. I would like to get up to being able to do 2 shows per week. So please keep it going. If you want to book a private reading with me, you can go to ivyrivera.psychicmedium.com. I do work internationally, and if it doesn't work with your time frame, I can do a video reading. If you don't want a full reading, you just want what I did here tonight, you're going to click on Spirit Message. Okay, I will see you guys next Wednesday for Ask Ivy, where you can ask a very specific question and I will deliver out messages from Spirit. Say goodnight, Ezzy. Not today. Thank you.